Hello and welcome from Buenos Aires, Argentina to this episode of Crossing Borders with Nathan Lustig, where Nate has conversations with entrepreneurs doing business across borders and the people who support them, with a focus on those that have some connection to Latin America. My name is Josefina Dominguez and I am an editor for LatAmist, an English language source for startup, venture capital and tech news in Latin America. Crossing Borders is sponsored by OpenPay, a payment processor that facilitates transactions between online stores and banks from a website or mobile app. The greatest benefit is that you can receive payments from credit and debit cards, cash payments at convenience stores, bank transfers, and any other payment method you want. The platform, part of the VVA Financial Group, offers security and adaptability with one simple integration. Nate's guest today is Andrea Baba, CEO and co-founder of FitCo, an all-in-one software solution for fitness centers. They talk about how Andrea created a solution to her own problem by combining her background in finance with her passion for fitness to found FitCo. They also discuss the catalysts that are helping transform Peru's ecosystem and what it was like to be the first Latin American startup to receive funding from the Techstars Boulder Accelerator. We hope you enjoy this conversation with Andrea Baba.
Hey, Andrea, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for being willing to do it.
Hi, Nate. Thank you for inviting me. I have always been a such fan, so I'm really happy to be here with you today.
No, thank you. Where are you in the world today?
I'm in Mexico City. Just came 1 week ago back at home in Mexico City for the past 2 years. I've been in Colorado, and it's good to be here.
Tell me a little bit about FitCo. What do you do?
Yes, totally. Well, in FitCo, we are really committed to help fitness centers in Latin America to grow, empowering them to be online. So we basically started to helping them with management and retention software, a booking app. And now we feel really happy that we are helping them to have virtual gyms and stay connected to stream live and on-demand classes to stay connected with their communities. You can imagine that right now, obviously the gyms are closed. This is the only way they can stay in business, and we're really happy to digitalize the whole fitness industry in Latin America right now.
Let's jump into you for a little bit before we go back into the business. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Peru. I was born and raised in Peru. I studied economics. I had like this career. I thought I had this career like in banking, but just started like this entrepreneurial journey in Peru. And 2 years ago, we decided to move from Peru to scale our business, but I'm Peruvian.
And you talked about being in banking. Did you always know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur and took a detour into banking, or was the entrepreneur journey a detour that just kind of came up in your career?
Yes, I wanted to build this career like in banking and in finance, but on the other hand, I also, when I was 18, I started formally my first business. And it was a Zumba studio, like a boutique fitness studio or gym. And I loved it. So I was doing Citibank, I was doing my Zumba studio, and I was studying economics at that time. And that's basically how FitCo was born, because I needed a tool that could help me to manage my whole business. And I really enjoy it. But definitely in my heart, like always has been like present this mission to help people to have like better life like through sports, because that's what I love the most while doing the Zumba classes. I was not only the general manager, but I was an instructor too. So I did actually the classes, and that was like the best time for me in my whole day. So then I decided that I wanted to be like fully committed into entrepreneurship and to make people's life better through sports.
And so you ended up, it sounds like you ended up solving your own problem with FitCo.
Yes, that's right. That's how we started. So I scaled my Zumba business. I started with one little location, and I started to expand it after 1 year. And I passed from 3 instructors to more than 10 instructors. And yeah, I was doing everything. I was doing like all the class assistants, the WhatsApps, like the payroll, everything. So that's when I looked I call Alex, my partner, and say like, hey, like I really need some tool that will help me to grow and to continue to scale the business, because I cannot do it on Excel and notebooks like anymore. And that's how we started. We started just with paper and mock-ups and thinking about how can we automate my processes and do better at communicating with my customers and improving my customer experience. And we did it. We did it for me. Obviously, my Zumba studio was the first paying customer that FitCo had at that time. I think that at the beginning, it was a really good advantage because, you know, like we launched like a new feature like 1 week, and then I went down to my partners, and then I to get their feedback, and then I went to my clients so they can give me feedback too about what they needed, and that's how we started building it for me.
And how did you decide that it was time to focus on the tech part of the business?
So we started to do like the mock-ups. We knew that we needed like a tech tool, right? A platform, like a software, like an app. But we started really with the problems at first, just putting all the jobs to be done, you know, like in these papers, and then we said like, okay, yeah, let's make it reality. And we started with a freelance in tech, a software developer. We called him and say like, hey, can you make this for us? And to be honest, like we thought that he will do it once and it would be great. Like we didn't need like any more. We were in college, like studying economics, no background in tech by that time. And yeah, we started with a freelance. And then obviously after, it was not only me, but we decided that more people in Latin America, more fitness owners needed this tool to grow their business. We decided to quit full and be involved full time in FitCo, and then to hire a full time person in tech so he can build with us FitCo too.
What was the entrepreneurial ecosystem like in Peru when you first got started? And some of the changes, what has happened over the last couple of years in Peru, and what have been some of the catalysts for that change?
Yes, so a lot. I think to start, like there's more people that are willing to do startups. You know, like for us at the beginning, it was like so hard to hire people, like so hard. Yes, like in our friends, like that were like starting to get like their jobs and building their corporate, you know, and traditional like careers. It was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you quitting like your jobs? Like, what is a startup? So there was, I think, that less people that were able to do like a startup and to start. And second, there was like less people that were willing to work on a startup. So the first applications for FitCo, like I remember I posted like in the network of my university that was a business school in Peru, and like received like, you know, like almost zero like interest in people to work in a startup. And for the past like maybe for the past 2 years, like there's more people that are willing to do it and to start their ventures, not to work, but to start. Also, I think that Startup Peru has been a great catalyst, like this initiative from the government to give seed capital for, obviously this is non-equity, to accelerate the growth of startups, and to also recognize startups in technology, new funds, obviously. So but that time, like for example, angel ventures that are one of our investors, they were only doing like angel investments. There was not like a seed fund like doing investments in startups. And in 2018 we received the first investment from them as a fund. So after angel venture started to do the seed round, this seed fund, like there were other like seed funds that started to come to the ecosystem too. We are having our first like venture capital VCs in our country too, like Salcantay Partners, for example. And also it was like financed by the government. So, just like I think like what Corfo does with also venture capital in Chile. And that has been a great catalyst too. Also seeing like I think startups from Peru doing like their Series A and receiving more money. For example, like like Reana obviously opens the market, I think, for other startups too, like their first like acquisitions, like private entities, like in banking, for example, like acquiring like startups like Kulki, like we're starting to see like things happening more in the startup ecosystem. And I think that you need one example to, like look ahead and to truly believe, because I totally believe this mindset and comes from the entrepreneur. In our case, for example, like we decided to come to Mexico because we heard like two great mentors for us that were established here in Mexico. So you need like to see, I think that's what I think, like you need to see one like one startup, one mentor like doing it, and then you say like, if they can do it, like I can do it too. So these like examples that I have mentioned, I think that also have impulsed the whole startup entrepreneurs and ecosystem to believe that we can and to aim higher, as Peruvian startups.
You talked a little bit about raising money and getting feedback and aiming higher, and you just completed Techstars in Boulder. Talk a little bit about that experience, some of the lessons you learned being a Latin American company going through that accelerator.
Yes, this has been like, I think that the best experience that Alex and I have been fortunate to have. Like we were the first Latin American startup to have ever received investment from the Techstars Boulder program. That is actually the headquarters of Techstars. So we are like one block. We're in the same block from the Techstars like headquarters with Brad Fail and with David Brown. So it was like such a really cool experience. But I think that one of our, and to be honest, like we were hesitating about like going into Techstars because we have like a team of 30 people, but at the time that we have to make the decision, so we have like an operation that we have to obviously take care, and we are not focusing right now in the United States. But we really took this opportunity by also great mentors that advise us to take it too, just to learn like from these US companies and the US ecosystem, like how it's actually to scale and build like greater business, and to understand like why are there so many unicorns in the United States and why there are not so much in Latin America yet. So we really wanted to be part like of a network of great entrepreneurs that can teach us how to continue to scale our FitCo journey. And one of our biggest learnings actually, and for us has been the biggest change, like both personal and professional, that has impacted FitCo as business for the past months too, is just this people-driven approach. Like Techstars is founder-driven. So one quick examples, like after we get the investment, the very best thing that they did for us was to get us like an executive coach even before starting the program, and they ran like some personality tests for us and just started to get to know us as person. And like their philosophy is that people first. So if the founder first, if the founder is good, is wealthy, is healthy, like he will be able to run a better business. So they really focus on you. Like I remember we started like with some forums that we have, like CEO forums, with meditation, talking about like ourselves, a lot of things that get you connected like personally, and that actually we felt that Techstars care so much for us as founders. And then we said like, what we want to take this to the team, right? We want our team to feel that we take care of them, and we believe that they themselves, like each person of our team, is first, and they have to be good in order to build FitCo, because in FitCo we work a lot and we always have a lot of things to do. So we that's where we understood that we need to like focus first on the person. And I think that this is kind of really sad from our experience, but as I share with you, like we are on business schools and in this like banking and in finance path. And yeah, I think that the way that we have born was always like, like these successful people, these successful like CEOs, like they're kind of assholes. I don't know if I can say this in the podcast, but
You can.
yes, like that's like I know things are changing, but that's sadly that's the way that we will grow. Like it's you want to build a great venture, you have to be like this yes asshole like CEO that is so determined and the business is always first, and we don't care like so much about like the people that are building it that actually are the core. So I'm not saying obviously that I was an asshole near my partner. We obviously care about our team, care about our culture, but to have this experience, it was a game changer for us, because I think that it was the first time when these investors, this Techstars network just show with us, care so much about us, and we saw the impact in us and how we wanted to build and to grow FitCo. And when we put it like get back to the team and try to do the same like things that we have learned, the way we communicate with them, we have had like our best 3 months of our history, month over month, doing like sales records and growing. And I totally think that is because of this mindset and people like first approach.
What advice would you give other Latin American founders who are thinking about doing an accelerator like Techstars or Y Combinator or one of the top accelerators in the US?
I think that they have to, well, to start, they really have to take it seriously. Like if you are going into Techstars, into one combinator, you have to be like 1,000% committed to put like all the goals that and all the reasons why you choose those accelerators to be in. So that's first, and that's related obviously to be clear about the output that you are going to get. Like why are you choosing like this accelerator? Why do you want to go to Boulder or to San Francisco or to New York? To be surrounded by your classmates and with those partners. So to be clear on the outputs you want to do. Like in our case, we have like 2 big things that we wanted to achieve, and we are happy that we did it. But I think that you really need to have like a North Star metric and a clear purpose on why are you taking this opportunity? Why are you going to leave your business for 3 months to do this? And obviously to be 1,000% committed to do it. The other thing is to actually, and this is a personal advice on our experience, to connect and take 100% advantage of the network and of the people that are willing to help you at that time. In our case, we have like Techstars is based in mentors. So we have like this like mentor madness where we met with more than 100 mentors from the Techstars network. And it was like a matchmaking process. And we ended up with 4 lead mentors where we get to meet every week with them. So you get to see like the progress and really like build relationships. And that was amazing, like that kind of connections and to just like, really take advantage of the network that you are being part and building good relationship with them. I think that that's a really powerful thing. I'm really happy that after the program, like these mentors that we have, like actually they continue to be part of FitCo and they have recently invested in us. And I was wondering like, what would happen if instead of having like 4 lead mentors, I would have like, like 6 or 8, and build like stronger relationship with the people in the network that are willing to help you and are there to support you, not only because of the money, but obviously because of all the advice that you receive from them. And yes, it's amazing. The in our cases, like I think all of our mentors have been in acquisition processes. They build and scale the startups up to $1 million, and just having the opportunity to get together in a weekly base for us, it was amazing. And I think that getting back to your first question, that's some of the things that like we need in Latin America, like to really learn from all the experiences that great founders in Latin America have, and build this like give first, also like mindset to always give back to the community and to the network, and that other learning that we have learned too.
You have a business that has been affected by coronavirus and the lockdowns in Latin America, which have been especially strong in Colombia, Peru, and now Chile. Talk a little bit about how you pivoted and gotten through this tough period of time.
Yes, the past months in FitCo has been crazy. We were talking about this with our managers on Monday on how, like, I think the first month, like, we literally didn't sleep, like the whole team. It was incredible, the magic that happened too. And I won't call it like a pivot. I think that we were, for the last year, we were already working on digitalizing the classes of our fitness studios. We saw that at-home fitness was a trend in the United States, and that no one in Latin America was doing it yet. So we're lucky that we were starting to build a product related to online classes, and not only to build it, but actually to have a library of online classes from our studios, who we sell already the software. So when it was March 15 and all the governments started to say like, hey, we're in mandatory like lockdowns, obviously it was a crisis, like for especially for all, obviously our team and our customers, from one day to another, their business, they cannot go to their business, and they didn't know like what to do. How am I going to survive and to have revenue and to be in business while my gym is closed? That is how I get revenue. So at that time, we were lucky that since we were already working in online classes, we rapidly launched like a new like functionality, like a new feature. We have called it like FitCo Live. That is basically on the website that we were already providing to them. Like we added the online modules so they can stream on-demand classes and they can have their own libraries of classes. And we also integrated with Zoom so they can do live classes. And yes, we launched this in March 15, and it has been amazing. Obviously, not only all the growth and all the new fitness centers that we have started to digitalize 100%, but also for our customers, like to be for them, like available for them, to not only say like, yes, like what are we going to do? It's not like you have to do online classes. We're going to help you in this. You're going to stay in business. We're going to help you. Yeah, just to continue to be connected with your communities and to even monetize more. So yeah, now we have like this FitCo Live that we have had like sales records for the past 3 months, like double the amount of leads, and especially to have like really, really happy customers that are grateful that they can continue to be in business and they can continue to be doing revenue, and especially continue to deliver their great trainings when I think that people are needed them the most. Like being at home is not easy, obviously, for everyone. It has changed us 100%, like the way we work, the way we consume things. And I think that more than ever, exercising and being healthy is really important. And I feel really, really happy that we are helping towards it.
What's it been like being a female founder in Latin America, where you've had experience in Peru, Mexico, and then also in the US? Are there any differences between the countries, and what's the overall feedback?
I'm really happy that you have done this question, because actually, and to be completely honest with you, is something that I'm really taking and being more aware than ever, like for the past month. I think, like for me, I was like, I went in a school full of girls, and I have like these examples of powerful women that I consider successful women are around me. So for me, it has never been like an issue. Like I've never seen it before, like these times at a disadvantage, like for me, being a female founder, because I believe, and I still obviously believe, that as female, I can do it. Like there's no difference, obviously, and there's no limitations for a woman, like female founder. But actually, I have been like, I'm more aware of that difference that they still are in the world, not only in the startup world. So, for example, I have realized while doing our latest round that I don't have any woman investor in our cap table, and that our advisor board in FitCo is full of men and me, and that in our team 40% of our team is woman, but we have more like I want more women like in technology. So I think that for me, like being a female founder, I don't think that I had any disadvantage while doing FitCo, but actually right now, I totally believe that me as a female founder, CEO, I need to put like this gender like agenda in FitCo, and to make like these statements. Okay, like I want at least 50% of my board members like in to be women. I need like women investors, so I think that right now I'm really committed to just like look for those opportunities, like to be more thoughtful about it, and to acknowledge, I think, that we need like more women in leadership. We need more women being at boards. We need more women investing. We need more females CEOs, so we can be an example and acknowledging it. And now I feel responsible for looking at those opportunities, because one woman investor, now her friends will know that she's investing, and they will want to invest and get related with some other women too, and the same with board, and the same with my team. So yes, that is one of my goals right now.
Do you have any books, blogs, podcasts, or documentaries you'd like to recommend to people, whether about startups or just life in general?
Yes, talking about our latest statement about like being women in the startup world, like I'm like obsessed right now with Lean In from Sheryl Sandberg, the CEO of Facebook. That is great. Like if any one of you, I think that it's both great for women and men, so men can also understand what's like on the woman's brain. I highly recommend it. My background doing FitCo has always been like in like sales and growth. So for sales, like we literally build like our sales model by doing 2 books, From Impossible to Inevitable, and the sales acceleration formula. I highly recommend it if you are trying to build like sales teams, especially in B2B. Hacking Growth from Sean Ellis, also like a great book like for mindset. And for money, Venture Deals from Brad Fell. Like I think that it's totally a must.
If you could go back to when you first started your business, knowing everything you know today, what advice would you give yourself?
I think that as I shared with all of you before, these people-driven since the beginning and really focusing on our team first. I think that's something that, yes, I definitely will continue to develop. And I think that if we could start, we will just do it better. Also, to invest more in product and tech, not being like a technical founder, neither me or my partner. I think that we always lack like these really good partners in product and tech. And I feel really lucky that after like almost 4 years that we found the right like head of product and the right like tech leader, and it's amazing. Like, yeah, I definitely want that like roles from the beginning in FitCo 100%, and also to be like more product-led growth. We have always been like more sales-led growth, I think. So right now we're transitioning into product-led growth, and it's something that since we are SaaS, like about like automation and onboarding, it's really, really helpful, and it can relieve a lot of pains on the onboarding. And obviously to have like these great people, great team, and great product, great tech to raise more capital from the beginning, to be surrounded by these highly talented people, and to build faster.
What's next for FitCo over the next year or two?
Well, there's a lot of things coming from us. I'm really excited. We will continue to deliver and to work really hard on this like online solution. We want to digitalize like every fitness center in Latin America. We are truly believers that online classes are here to stay, and the new normal for fitness is a combination between in-studio and online classes. So I'm excited to really continue to build FitCo to position as this unique solution that every fitness in Latin America needs in order to grow. So yes, like we are obsessed right now to deliver value to our customers and continue to grow. And we're also preparing for our Series A.
Well, it's going to be fun to see you continue to execute across the region, and hope you have success through this coronavirus period and come out stronger the other way with the Series A done. Thanks for taking the time to share your story. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Nathan, and everyone that is hearing us today. It was great being here.
Thanks again for listening to this episode of Crossing Borders with our guest, Andrea Baba. And thank you to Angel Andraca for producing this podcast. If you'd like to get a summary of the week's biggest headlines in Latin American tech news, sign up for our weekly updates on LatinList.com, a proud sponsor of the Crossing Borders podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please share with a friend and give us a rating on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. It's the best way to share what's going on in Latin America's ecosystem.